Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm your host, Mika Frankl, and today we're joined by number 9 ranked Bellator heavyweight representing Jackson Wink MMA, Davion Franklin. How you doing?
What's up, brother? Doing pretty good.
I'm doing great, and it's great to get to talk to you again, my friend. Coming off of an impressive first round performance. Let's start there. Let's talk about the fight and the win at Bellator 259. How did you feel about your showing overall?
I felt like my showing was pretty good. I think it was I think it showed that I could strike and I don't need to wrestle. I think that's what my showing showed.
Well, was that a goal going in?
Yeah, but not just for that fight, just for all my fights. Like, I feel like I'm pretty well rounded, and I actually like to strike more than I like to wrestle anyway, you know what I mean? If I wrestle, it's just like to prove a point, that the wrestling is always going to be there.
You hear that from wrestlers. Is it also a point of you've wrestled your whole life and you haven't been striking your whole life? This is a bit more fun to be striking?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like when I was younger, I was in a lot of street fights when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I've always, been a fan of like the movies and WWE. So like I don't know, man. Like striking didn't really seem foreign to me when I came into MMA.
When did you hurt him the first time? Was it when you guys went to the clinch? I think it was an underhand right. I think you were able to come through, or was it before that with the left hand? When was the first time you felt like you hurt King?
The first time in the fight, I feel like I hurt him was like when he tried to clinch in the beginning, and I had hit him with a rear uppercut and a rear hook, and then I had one for the flying knee when I seen he was kind of stumbling.
Talk to me about that flying knee. Did it land? How close was it? The angle you can't really tell on YouTube.
Yeah, it landed, but it landed right here, like where his heart would be, like his chest, like because you hear the smack, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, close. I almost got him, but it landed right here in his left pec.
And exchanging some leg kicks back and forth, and then it looked like you went in for the kill. What did you see? Was it just that moment you dove in there and you started letting go of the right hands and you started clipping him?
Honestly, man, like I was just in the zone. In my head, like I would just I don't want to sound bad. It's gonna sound so bad, so I'll reword it. But in that point in time, I was just looking for different ways to execute him, not execute him, but like finish him. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was hoping that like if he went down after one right hand, maybe I could ground and pound him a little bit, then do something else more cool. I don't know, man. There was different ways to finish him, and that's what I was looking. Because if you seen like after I hit him the first time, I walked up to him slowly, so I'm thinking all that in my head, like how am I going to finish him? I didn't know he'd go down after just one right hand connecting.
When you had both hands up and you came around the guard and got that right hand, kind of stuck him and he froze. Were you surprised he stayed standing after that one?
No, I knew he was gonna go down. Like I knew I could have done anything to him at that point. He was vulnerable.
It's a big win. It's a dominating win. It keeps the momentum going. Do you feel that with your performances down the right trajectory that you want to?
Yeah. Yep. I'm 3-0. He's a good opponent for me at the time. I mean, in the time of my career, but at the same time, like I feel like I can beat anybody right now. That's how I feel. That's really how I feel. I feel like I can beat anyone, especially on the Bellator heavyweight roster.
3-0, that number 9 next to your name in the rankings. I want to know what was the honest first reaction when you saw yourself in the rankings?
I was happy. I was happy. I was like, I was in the parking lot, like celebrating in my car, just listening to music, vibing, FaceTiming like people, like my family, letting them know like, your boy's ranked. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That just lets me know that my career is going in the right place. at the very least, that lets me know like my career is going in the right direction.
See, I'm a little bit surprised, and I don't want to make you sound cocky, but I thought your first reaction was going to be, they don't have me high enough.
The more I mature with this, man, if I feel like I don't know, man, I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready for like to show like this is my sport. This is me. I am him. Like I'm ready to show that. I wasn't like I'm not high enough because I know like eventually I'm gonna have to face these guys, and I'm gonna keep knocking them off one by one, and I'll prove it that way. So when it's time for me to really say that, I'll be there.
They're still building you up. Do you expect the next fight to be a guy with a number also, or do you expect still
No,
just
but
another
maybe
guy with
so
more
maybe
experience?
maybe within these next two fights of this year, probably. No, there's no one who's came in Bellator like I have. Guys who's came into Bellator under similar conditions that I've came on, first pro fight in Bellator type thing. They were getting guys who were losing records at first, guys who only had about 2-3 fights. My first fight I had a guy who had 7 fights. Second guy I had a guy who had 10 fights. Third fight who wussied out 2 hours before the event had 7 fights. This fight 20 fights. You know what I mean? Like, and they're all over 500. You know what I mean? So like, no one's coming to Bellator how I have. No one's who's coming to Bellator getting ranked at 10 out of 25 heavyweights, two fights in, getting ranked number top 10. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like, man, I'm in a position to where like I'm not like I don't expect everything to be handed to me, but I'm gonna take everything. You know what I mean? With each performance, no matter who they put in my way. I said it before. Everybody's getting done the same way. I can assure you that. I'm telling you. I promise you.
Right? And
Everybody.
what are your hopes
Everybody.
for that main card? When do you expect for yourself to get on the bigger stage, to get on the
It
Showtime
don't
stage, the
matter. It
main
don't. It
card?
don't. It don't matter. It doesn't matter to me. The fans are coming back. The fans are gonna see me. You know what I mean? I feel like the way I fight, the fans get. You know, the way I fight. I think it doesn't matter. It could be my next fight. It could be 2-3 fights from now. I don't care. All I'm focusing on dominating these opponents. I'm focusing on being like feeling like there's no one like me in the sport. Like that's all I'm focused on is just like being somebody that like these people have never seen.
And you could hear it even in the commentary. Talk about being something that people haven't seen. Your agility at 270 pounds is ridiculous. Talk to me
Yeah,
about that athleticism you have.
it's not really much I can say. It's just like I've always had it. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it to good use now. You know?
Do you recognize like how rare that is to be a heavyweight and to have some of those attributes? Because look at some of the guys that you fight that you've already fought. They're a bit more just mechanical in movements where you're free flowing.
Yeah. There's gonna be somebody who's probably strong as me, but I just can never see anybody who moves like I move, and that's why like I'm like, man, I can't. I'm not trying to rush it anymore. I'm just gonna let everything come to me. As long as I'm comfortable and I'm taken care of, my business taken care of, like I'm just focused on the legacy. Like that's it. I want my career to be. I want to stay undefeated my whole career. No heavyweight has done that, and as long as I'm undefeated, I still have a chance to stay undefeated.
So you put that as a big goal on the list.
That's the biggest goal. That's why I can't lose. Every fight. Oh man, you've only had 2 fights. How does it feel to fight a guy who's 20 guys, literally 10 times the fight experience as you? It doesn't matter. Like I can't. I know what I've been through. I cannot lose. I can't. I want to allow it. Like I have to stay undefeated my whole career. That's my whole purpose of fighting. That's one of my
Changing this
purposes.
changing the topic slightly real quick. I
Sorry.
saw a little more personality, a little more comfortability out of Davion. And I just mean it even from the attire. First couple fights, it was the straight black shorts. This time, a lot of flavor in the fight attire.
Yeah. Gladiator, man, I'm a warrior, bro. You gotta that's my own mentality. I'm a gladiator. Like I feel like I'm vicious. And I was just it just resonated with me and how I felt.
I could see it. I could get that image that you were putting off the gladiator. Was that your intention? Did you like when did you see those shorts and knew you wanted to wear them like that?
Oh, immediately. Immediately, yeah. Immediately. Those shorts were gifted to me by a friend of mine who's a very good friend. He gifted them to me, and I was gonna wear like these RDX shorts with the slits in the side. And yeah, he showed me those shorts, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I gotta wear these. So I was like, yeah. So now I'm gonna wear those kind of shorts all the time now.
But did you know that was a little bit of a stepping out of the shell moment?
No, man, because I feel like I don't know, like I feel like I'm not a really like I do what I want. I never like there's not really any limitations in me. Like I could be I'm a like the people who know me like besides the people who don't know me may think I'm like some just serious dude, but like I feel like the people who know me knows like I'm a very colorful dude. You know.
So now you intend those style of shorts, that's going to become the trademark?
I felt the way I felt in those shorts, man. I felt like, man, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with my life. I feel like my passion, my calling in this life was to be like to be a special fighter, like not a special, but like just be like a real, like a vicious fighter.
We've talked about
I love it.
the experience level of the
Yeah.
opponents increasing. Do you feel like the challenges have increased? We know you're here to be a fighter, and I feel like to bring out your best, you're going to have to be pushed. Do you feel like little bit by little bit, these fights are pushing you more and more?
What do you think?
I think it's still getting to that point. We're still looking to try to push Davion.
Yeah. Um. You want me to tell you the truth, man? Like, it doesn't matter who they put in my way. It doesn't matter who. Like, the results are going to be no different, and
I
that's the
got it.
truth.
There's an interim title fight. Moldavsky, Johnson. Did you even know that? Are you impressed by either guy? Have you watched either of them fight? Just wondered if you have, like, if you look at the division.
I watched. I'll be honest. I watched a little bit of Tim Johnson. You know, I thought Tyrell Fortune was going to be the guy, in to shoot for in the Bellator heavyweight division, and then the fight he had with Tim Johnson proved otherwise. So now I look at Tim Johnson and it's like, okay.
What do you think sets you apart from other guys?
My passion. I look at a lot of these guys, a lot of heavyweights that I've seen, just a lot of fighters that I've seen, and I see a lot of these guys, and I can just tell like they're doing it for different reasons than what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for a legacy purposes. I'm doing it because I feel like this is like this fighting comes so effortless to me. Like I'm blessed to do this, and I feel like I do it because I want to be great at it. I feel like a lot of good guys, they do it because they want to get a check. They're doing it because they want some attention, to get some kind of fame, some kind of monetary gain from it. They're doing it for their brand. They're doing it so they can support their family, like just things like that. And I don't see too many guys who have like that kind of mentality. Like, man, this is like, I love this shit. Like, I want to be great at this. I want to be like number one, numero uno. Like, this is my calling. This is my passion. Like, I feel so at home when I do this. It's the only thing I've ever done so good in my life, and I still want to keep doing it.
When you lay down at night, when you're just like having the dreams before you go to bed, what is that vision? What does it look like to reach your goal, to be number one, to be at the top?
To be at the top of the MMA world, for me, it's multiple title defenses through Bellator and UFC. There's multiple title defenses, and it's being undisputed number one in the world. That's like, but I think the only how someone can do that, especially at heavyweight, is being an undefeated heavyweight, which never happens. So like I kind of put that pressure on myself to be like a number one. I mean, an undefeated heavyweight, but I know I can do it. Like I know, like bro, I would fucking I, bro, I would hurt myself before I would lose. I would die before I lose, bro.
Going in there to give everything.
Absolutely. It's the one thing I've aspired to be great at. I've been always good at other things like other sports, of course, not everything, but other sports. This is the one sport that I actually really care about.
What, do you know what the difference was? Can you explain it? How it was a different feeling from? We know you've been on the wrestling mats. We know you've been on the football field. What was different in the cage?
In wrestling and in football, I was doing it for everybody else around me. This fighting, I'm doing it for me. I literally like, bro. We were just talking about how I just moved to my new place and stuff. I came to Albuquerque 2 years ago, homeless as shit. You know what I mean? Homeless as shit, bro. I was sleeping in my car the first month in Albuquerque to being where I'm at now. I fought for this, like legit. You know what I mean? I really fought for a better life. I'm literally fighting for a better life.
And it's taken a lot of hard work and dedication. I know you came out here with the big expectations.
I
How
exceeded my expectations.
has it differed from what you expected?
I didn't honestly because I didn't expect it to happen like as quick as it has. I would have thought like even with like me knowing like what I like my attributes, I would have thought that maybe I would just be getting signed to Bellator or UFC right now, by around now. You know what I mean? So uh, I didn't expect it to go as good as it's going. The sport's been very good to me, and I'm very thankful for the sport.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the first time that Greg and Wink and Alex were in your corner for this last fight.
Uh, no, they were in my corner in my first fight.
No, what is it like having such a power team in your corner?
Um, the expectations are high. That's I mean, you're expected to win. That's what it's like. You know, they only go like where like all three of them. You know what I mean? They run classes at the gym. They go like where like where they need to go. Like you know what I mean? That makes sense.
It makes sense. Is that when you know that they're all putting that faith, that trust in you, going to go with you? What does that instill in you?
I mean, it's like not only do not let myself down, but you have this is more. This is bigger than me. I have other I have you know Coach Wink, Coach Jackson in my corner. Coach, I'm a representation of them.
We talked earlier, you moved. So it's not just the career, but it's life. Everything's evolving,
Mhm.
improving. How does that feel just generally?
Man, like I said, it feels like that's when you know like you're doing the right thing with your life. You know, a lot of people they look at fighters as like people who just can't function without fighting, and just people who you know what I mean, like these meatheads who's always angry all the time who probably couldn't be in a real society. But like for me, like fighting has literally changed my life, literally, like, and it's still changing my life. Like I just feel that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
And also thinking about fighting, people looking at it now more recently as an entertainment industry. Any chance that we could ever see Davion want to do some celebrity boxing?
No, nah, because my life is not a circus. Like I feel like when I'm in fight mode, like I want people to look at me as the most dangerous man in MMA. MMA is my ground, not boxing. Like hopefully I make enough money in this sport, which I think I will, so I don't gotta like go to boxing to make a big payday. I think when people see what they have with me, with the way I fight, I don't think I should ever have to worry about money.
Looking at Francis Ngannou, guys that have had the heavyweight title, Brock Lesnar, Cain Velasquez, do you get the sense of how like big you could become like in a media sense as a draw, as a big heavyweight finishing fights, your intentions, if they come to fruition, the size of like a draw it could become?
Yeah, but I also feel like I'm. I just gotta show it, man. I just gotta keep getting these fights, man. You know what I mean? I feel like these, like I bring something to the MMA game that the world's never seen before. So I just, like I said, just gotta keep getting these fights. You know, I don't like to. I don't want to talk too much and count my eggs before they hatch or anything like that. But I just know, like, I'm. I ain't even gotta say it. You know what's up. You know
Right.
what's up.
I keep talking about the future, these grand plans, but what's the keys to getting up every morning and keeping on the grind?
The future. That's it. Like those are the keys. The future. I think about the future all the time. It's all like, like things happen how they're supposed to happen. Not all the time how you want it to happen, but it happens how they're supposed to happen. And like I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited, but I know like first things first, I want to break all these guys in Bellator first. And that's first thing first. Before I even think about anything else.
I know we mentioned Johnson. Are you actively though when they have events? Are you sitting there to watch the Bellator to take a look at the competition, especially if the heavyweights are on?
Yeah, if there's like a heavyweight that I'm kind of watching, yeah. And if I'm not doing anything on a Friday night, yeah, I'll watch. But if I'm like busy, nah, not really. But I had to watch the Anthony Johnson fight. Like I literally was out. I was out to eat dinner with my girlfriend, and that fight came on. I watched it at dinner. So so yeah, they got some events, but honestly, yeah. So it just depends.
And we've talked a lot about fighting. We know there's many other, areas of interest that you have. How do you relax?
My idea of relaxation is basically being in my home where it's quiet, where it's peaceful, and I'm either critiquing myself, watching some Mike Tyson and John Jones highlights, or uh, reading like motivational books, inspirational self-help books, and just being alone is relaxing for me. I like to be alone.
All right, all right. Really chill. You reading anything currently?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Uh, I was reading this book right here. This is okay, the camera. I was reading this book. It's a good book right here, Relentless. But the book that I'm currently reading right now is this one right here, The Solomon's Secret.
Interesting, interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. Like I said, like I just like to be alone and be at peace. Like when it's just quiet. Don't gotta talk to anybody. That's relaxing for me. Like right now, I'm relaxing. I feel really good.
I feel like even if it's not in a stressful way, that you were just always focused on your goal, on your path. Because as you said, even relaxing there, you're looking at business books, at motivation books. I feel like there's a real just trend of building and forward thinking with Davion.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but that's how like I've been able to like to get to where I am in only like 3 fights. And I went to that from like living in my car and being homeless. You know what I mean? Because I was always thinking about the future and how like what I need to do to get there.
I didn't even realize when you first got here that you were sleeping in the car. I thought you jumped into the dorms pretty soon. How long did that
No,
take?
it took a month. So I'll tell you the story. So like when I left Atlanta, I was working at a warehouse, and I had a supervisor who was always on my ass. So like I was thinking about getting into MMA and coming out to Jackson Wink, but I was looking for MMA school. So I filled out that questionnaire online, and they basically invited me to join the amateur team. I didn't know that they sent that to everybody. You know what I mean? I thought that like, and I sent them my wrestling videos and everything, and I thought that like they picked me because like I stood out. So I tell everybody at my job, hey man, I'm gonna go train at Albuquerque. I'm gonna go train with John Jones and Holly Holmes. And my supervisor, who was always on my ass, who didn't like me, he's like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, keep working. You know what I mean? So long story short, like this guy, I just knew this guy was gonna try to write me up or fire me somehow. I had a feeling, like I said, I just had a feeling. And so he comes up to me with some BS reasoning to like why he's gonna write me up, and I was like, save it. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go do MMA. I'm moving to Albuquerque. I'm putting in my week's notice, and I quit. So I drive all the way out here to Albuquerque, thinking I'm gonna go stay in the doors of Jackson Wing. 20 hours nonstop. I had literally $200 in my pocket. I had a paycheck coming in next Friday, and I had $200 in my pocket. Get to Albuquerque. I call Misha. You know who Misha is, right? I call Misha, and I'm like, yo, I'm here, man. I'm here to train. I was invited to come out here. And he tells me, well, do you have $700? He was like, do you have $700? And I was like, no. He was like, well, you can't move in without having $700 to, you know what I mean? And I think it's like 200 to train and 500 to sleep in the dorms, and like, you know. And so long story short, bro, I was just thugging it in Albuquerque. Like I would, like, some days, like on the weekends, I sleep in hotels, and throughout the week I sleep in my car, and I'll go take a shower at the Candelaria boxing gym. And then I would put out my clothes in like in the storage unit, and I would like drive Uber and Lyft just to make a little bit of cash on the side. But I was sleeping in my car, and then like after that first month, I was just like, shit, I don't have any money, I can't survive out here. Like, so I just decided to go to the gym, just to see it, you know, because I hadn't even seen it. So I decided to go to the gym, and as soon as I walked, like, mind you, like I had been sleeping in my car, homeless as hell, that whole month. And I literally, this is January 14th, 2019. I go into the gym the first time. I walk through the doors. Who do I see? Misha. And he's like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Davion. Like, I'm a heavyweight. You know, I guess I'm going to go back to Atlanta because, like, you know, I don't have the money to move in. He was like, wait, how much money do you have now? He's like, how much money do you have now? I was like, I got like $90. And he literally let me move in with $90 just because he seen me for the first time in person. So I didn't even have to be homeless. I could have just like went to the gym right away and they would have let me in.
And I think I was sitting there on the mat when Misha was giving you the tour 20 minutes later.
Probably.
I did not know that. See, I thought that was just the first day that you had showed up in town. I thought, oh, these guys show up, they come to the gym, they're showing them around.
No, I was homeless, man. They literally, like, I never forget that. Like, I was literally thinking, like, damn, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I came all the way out here, like, drove 20 hours. Like, I mean, I was, you know, barely making it by in Atlanta too, but I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, but I did work out at the Candelaria boxing gym, and then I showered there. Then I would go find a parking lot to sleep in. So, and like, sometimes I would meet like somebody, you know what I mean? Like, I would meet someone and they would let me stay with them for a day, like, you know, if you know what I mean. But and that was it. But like for the most part, like, I don't know, I look back on it and I'm like, damn, I'm thankful for it because like I'm good now. Like, you know, I'm not like where I want to be at, but like I'm where a lot of people ain't. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing all right for myself. So it's kind of like it was worth it.
And I've already known for you, you've thought that the sky is the limit. And then I see one
Absolutely, it
day
still
on your
is.
and then one day I see on your Instagram, you're even attacking the sky. Did I see Davion flying a plane?
Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So
That was fun.
aviation, a hobby?
No, it's not really a hobby. I just knew like this dude who flew planes, and he basically was able to basically like kind of let me steer it while he like kind of you know what I mean? While he put it in manual or whatever. In
Okay.
autopilot, I meant to say. Yeah.
All right,
But
I thought we were.
I was like, it was fun. That was dope. It was dope. It was dope.
I was just thought we were embracing in the. I'm just gonna fly myself to my fights. This will be easier.
Nah, nah, man. I'm still. I could never do that, but that's it's scary, bro. It's like really, really like touchy. Like if you, it's like flying, like in steering. It's really sensitive. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun though.
And that was
Yeah,
the
man.
first time he had let you do it.
That's the first time. Yeah, yeah.
So normally not an adrenaline junkie.
Huh?
You
I don't know. I think like the older I get, like it's weird because like a lot of people go through that adrenaline junkie type thing when they're kids. But I think like the older I get, the more like I'm becoming okay with doing risky things. Like it's weird. Like I want to go bungee jumping, but I want to go skydiving, like bad. And I know I'm gonna do it.
Keenan Jackson was just telling me about trying to get his skydiving certification license or something.
Hmm. That's cool. That's really cool. But you know something though, fighting is the most adrenaline junkie thing. Like it's such an adrenaline for me in fighting. Like that getting fired up, that like that's like the most adrenaline junkie experience for me.
Did that possibly open you up?
Probably, probably, because think about it, man. You really like have like someone who's trained in fighting, trying to inflict pain upon you. It's always like you're playing like a scary video game, like Resident Evil, kind of. You know what I mean? Like someone's literally attacking you. You're in a cage, like literally a damn cage with them. You have to defend for yourself, or at the very least, you get is public embarrassment.
Right, because getting knocked out doesn't hurt actually. You never feel it.
Yeah, but when you see the replay, it's bad.
That's the public embarrassment part, right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like I'm like I can't go out like that, bro. I gotta. Hey, I'm turning up every time, every time.
It's good to see that you're happy. It's good to see that everything's going so well. And what's next? What's your hopes? When do we see you back in action?
Hopefully in August. Yeah.
You've already had it happen once. Was it quite surprising an opponent like the last hour dropping out of the fight?
Yeah, that was pretty surprising. Like I feel bad that he kind of took away like my main card. It was my first time being on the main card, and I knew I was gonna tear his ass up. I just felt it, and he took it away from me. But I'm still young. Life goes on. It's gonna happen, and when it happens, I'm just gonna be just way more better than what I was when I first had the opportunity to do it.
And I'd say it's almost nice to get one of those weird experiences like that out of the way when you're still, young into the career, rather than like a Tony Ferguson, Habib Nurmagomedov. Did he really just fall off a stage and tear his knee up at the press conference that week? You'd rather have a guy fall out on your third fight than in a championship fight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. It's okay though. Whatever, man. Whatever. With Anthony Garrett. Hope he's okay in his career. Hope he's doing okay. I wish that to all my opponents.
When you see them afterwards, I know some guys, they're like, yeah, I want my opponents to win because I want people to know I beat a decent fighter. Do you feel that same way?
Nah, after I'm done with him, I forget about him. Honestly, like unless it's like my first opponent, JDP Kaiser, like he's just kind of made an effort to be friends. Like he added me on Facebook. He always talks to me and stuff like that. So, but like if they don't really make any effort to be my friend, I mean, who would after they get their ass whooped? You know what I mean? But after I beat him up, I forget about him.
Right. I saw with Weiser, you did a podcast even with him.
Yeah, and
At
he,
first,
he,
building
he
that
keeps trying to get
relationship,
me to
was it
do
strange?
more. Huh?
Was it strange when he first hit you up? Were you like, what?
At first it was, but then I realized, man, he's just a normal dude like anybody else. You know what I mean? So, Rice Hilton or Tyler Kane want to do a podcast. I'm down. I'll talk to him.
It's just business at the time, right?
Yeah, just business. Just business.
He's Davion Franklin. He's right now in the process of conquering Bellator. Everybody knows you as this big knockout artist. We talk about this aggressive side of you in the cage. But how much of a funny guy, playful guy are you in reality?
Uh, I'm pretty playful, bro. But like just the people like in my circle, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I feel like when it comes to fighting, there's no room to be like funny. I feel like the funny guys that get knocked out, the funny guys they get stepped on and walk. You know what I mean? And nothing funny about what we do.
Do you feel like in the interviews and then fight week, you kind of got to just tuck that personality, that side away, and this is all business?
I don't even think about it because I'm just so cerebral. Like I'm a Gemini. You know what I mean? I just feel like when I hit the switch, I hit the switch. You know what I mean? Like fight week, I'm just already in that mode. Like I'm just so like I don't feel like a real human being. I feel like an animal. Like I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like the boogeyman. I do, bro. Oh, fight week, I do.
Is it just that week? Is it when you start heading to the airport? When does it like that switch flip? When does it turn into fight week for you?
When I'm on the airport headed there, the last flight usually like it's like I have two flights, one to Dallas, then the next one to Connecticut or whatever. But it's usually the flight there. I'm like, oh shit, this is really happening. I do my whole fight week routine. I become vulnerable. Like I just feel like fighting is about releasing all my pain, all my shortcomings, all my negative energy. You know what I mean?
Is that something that like this flipping the switch, going into that game mode, is that something that you had before with wrestling, or is this
Yeah,
been something with MMA only?
I had this with wrestling. Yeah, the only difference is with wrestling, I didn't ever like. I don't think I ever expected to win, but I didn't. I guess I did expect to win, but like I didn't really have a want, like a need to win. I feel like I need to win as bad as I need to breathe. And that's as bad as as crazy as that sounds. It's just the truth. Like I feel like
It's easy.
I need to win. Like that's the only how I change my life. Like I cannot continue to live a mediocre life. I can't. I can't do it. So I need to win every fight. Every fight, it has to be another W. It has to be. Why am I doing this if I cannot win? I work hard enough to win.
Putting in that work and getting the results you expected and continuing what that trajectory that you've laid out for yourself. One other thing I wanted to ask you about, we know you got a shirt on now, but under it, there was some pretty cool ink that you've gotten recently. And I think that I saw in a post that you said it's something very meaningful to you. Can you explain what the tattoo symbolizes?
Yeah, it's basically my brain and my heart tearing me apart. But I'm trying so hard to keep it together and to unite the two elements. You know what I mean? Uh, good and evil, good and bad. You know, for me, that's kind of what it is. Like, and now it could also be looked at as like uh, me being conflicted. At one point in my life, I was super conflicted on whether I wanted to do MMA or do what I was doing when I was in Atlanta. And but I basically bring them both together, even though it tears me apart. I hold them together, and that's basically what it means.
And that
You
was
know,
a design you did yourself, right?
yeah, yeah. I never seen anyone else with this tattoo.
That's cool. That is definitely cool. And it's awesome to have that kind of meaning and powerful remembrance right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir.
Dude, it was awesome getting to catch up with you.
Yeah, bro. You too, man. For sure.
Davion
sure.
Franklin, thank you for the time.